Hey everybody, I'm back. This episode or little shot here today is going to be for my citrus enthusiast, the hardy citrus enthusiast. I've got a few different varieties here we're going to look at. Some of these are repeats, some of these are new that I've not really talked about. Let's take a look one by one. We'll just take quick peeks at each of them and then we'll kind of slice them open and check them out. This one, everybody has probably seen this. This is a yuzu. Nothing too special about it. At least in this episode, we've looked at them. A lot of these are used for their the rind and not so much the juice. So here's the yuzu. That is super interesting, but this has some value. This is the Precocious trifoliate. It has a dwarfing quality to it, so if you're wanting to use something other than flying dragon for rootstock, this might be a good one. It's not a vigorous grower, so your tree won't really get very big if you use this as a rootstock. This is my Sudachi. Normally these are picked a lot earlier when they're green, so this is a Sudachi, and this is used more for like the juice and like in soups and cooking and stuff like that. So this is a yuzvange. It's similar to like a yuzu-quat or a sun-quat, but it's different. This is a yuzvange. Right here, this is a I-Ching lemon. So it's back on the scene here. I used to get these before, but my tree died back a whole lot. Finally getting fruits off of it again. And I like these fruits a lot, just like a lemon. So this is also a I-Ching lemon, it's just a little bit larger. It's got some weight to it too. Similar to that is the I-Ching, the Swingle citrumelo. But you can see on the bottom how they're different. And the I-Ching lemon is a lot larger than the Swingle. It's got a deeper kind of yellow to it. This has got like a lighter kind of yellow to it. This is the trusty Thomasville citrange quad. Good producer almost every year, even if it gets burnt back a lot. If we have a really tough winter, these will produce and bounce back. This is my Mandarin. Got that classic kind of bumpy rind. I know it's got like an easy peel. We wouldn't have to really even cut into this, but I've got one of these. This is a new one too. I briefly mentioned it on, I think, one of my last videos. This is the Changsha times citrumelo. So first time I've gotten one of these. Now these are all well, right now it's December 3rd, so this is what they're looking like at this stage in, I guess, the winter. Some of these probably would taste better if they were able to ripen a lot more, but most people who are trying to grow citrus or push their boundaries are probably picking them about now, because for fear of freezes, you don't want to let your fruit sit out there and freeze and then it get all ruined. So let's start with this Sudachi. We'll kind of cut into it. When I smell it, not a whole lot of scent to it, just as is like this. So let's cut it open, see how much seeds we have in here. As I'm cutting it, it's got a nice citrusy scent to it. Let's kind of pop it open like this, pretty juicy. So, looks like a lemon tangerine inside. We've got one seed per each segment, looks like. So I've got 1, 2, 3. This is an aborted seed. 4, 5, 6, 7. right there. A little sour, but there's no off flavors at all. It's really good. I can see why this is used a lot in cooking and soups and stuff like that in Japan. But maybe it's better when it's not quite this ripe. So maybe next year I'll pick them a little earlier. So here's this one. You can see how the seed looks there. And here's this one, the Sudachi seed right there. Let's get this one out of the way. Let's compare it to a yuzu, because a lot of times yuzu and Sudachi are kind of spoken about same time. Well, before I even cut this, you could smell it. And it's got that classic kind of sweet, lemony kind of scent to it. It's just got its own kind of scent. Well, you can tell, see, there's not a whole lot of juice in these at all. Maybe if it was not picked this late, but there's a little more. But it's got these large seeds in each segment, pretty large. When you bite the rind here, it's actually pretty good. It's got some sweet to it. It's actually, when you bite the rind, this rind is actually sweeter than the juice of the Sudachi. But you can compare them side by side. There's the Sudachi and here's the yuzu. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. We've talked about this before. Here's my Yuzu-ange. Nice. Looks like a big old giant kumquat, almost like a fukushu. So let's sniff test on the outside. Not much of a scent at all. Let's cut it open. Pretty juicy. Look at that. It's pretty juicy. It's almost similar to the Sudachi. Cutting it open, not a lot of scent that's kind of emanating from it. Oh. It is pretty tart, but not bad, really. It's almost just like a regular lemon. Almost closer to like a Meyer lemon. It's got some sweet to it. Just a tinge of sweet, no off flavors. All these seeds look aborted. I don't see any viable seed in here, which is kind of unfortunate for some people who want to breed citrus. So maybe the other. I have quite a few fruits on my yuzvange out there, so maybe we'll find some seed. So quite juicy and not bad at all. Let's just quickly. We'll just look at this Swingle. We've seen these a lot. Now, sniffing this, you can get a little bit of trifoliate, musky scent to it. So let's cut into it. It's got that little trifoliate twang to it. As far as the scent, I can smell it now. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful fruit when you look at it. There's a lot of seeds in there. This one's looks like it's starting to germinate almost right here. So we've got that little, the trifoliate kind of scent that's emanating from this right here. Let's take a little taste of it. This one is more closely flavored to a grapefruit. Yeah, I can taste the grapefruit in it. Now that I've had it again, it has a lemony grapefruit taste to it. Slight trifoliate taste, but it's not overwhelming. A lot of people seem to like Morton citrange. It sure is juicy. When I used to have a Morton, hardly had any seeds in it, but I couldn't get past that. The taste of the trifoliate. So for me, this is better in a pinch. If you need a lemon, this will work. A lemon that sort of tastes like a grapefruit. But I like these a whole lot because I use them for rootstock, and I've mentioned it a whole lot. Okay. Let's go to the I-Ching lemon. So I've been anxiously awaiting these. Probably could have picked them earlier. Feels like this could have been heavier, but we'll see. Maybe it's dried up a little bit inside, but no. Now first, when I first picked this earlier, and it was about 20 minutes ago, first thing I noticed was the scent. The scent coming from it is like, it's like sort of like a yuzu. Sort of like a yuzu, but with almost like a Christmassy tree kind of pine scent to it. So I don't know if that even makes sense, but when you get near a Christmas tree, you kind of have that pine or Christmas. I don't know what the different varieties of Christmas trees are, but it does have that scent to it mixed in with a yuzu scent. The outer part, you really got to dig into this thing to get cutting into it. So here we go. Oh, it smells good. Here we go. So here is the I-Ching lemon. Inside, got a lot of seeds. Almost looks like pomelo seeds. Beautiful white albedo here, and not running with juice when you cut into it. And as I was mentioning earlier, cutting through this part of the rind takes quite a bit of force. Maybe that's a good thing. So if like the fruit fall, it's quite tough outside to handle that. And let's take a little taste of it. That's really good. It tastes like nearing. I could bite this. It's so good. Maybe I was expecting this to be a little bit more dry on the inside because it feels light. It's got weight to it, but for its size, it feels like it might be heavier. But when you cut into it, it's not dripping with juice. It almost tastes like a New Zealand lemonade. Maybe this is a real big stretch. A New Zealand lemonade fruit, like a sweet lemon that is not ripe yet, but it's getting there. But you can get these. Maybe it's because I've just tasted the Swingle, and I'm getting a little bit of bias because this tastes much less twangy. But man, I'm liking this right now. You could squeeze this. You could almost eat it like this. Put some little bit of sugar or some I don't know, a little bit of sugar or something like that on there, and eat it just like this, almost like a grapefruit or a sweet lemon. Tons of seeds. Look at these seeds. There's multiple seeds for each segment here. They're pretty big. Here's one right here. It's pretty angular, you know. When you look at pomelos and their seeds, it's pretty much like this, pretty big. Or some even some oranges are like this, but I'm liking this. So let's maybe because I miss it, because it's been quite a few years, but I don't know, it's good. Here's just another one. I'm not gonna cut this one open just yet. Let's go to the old trustworthy, the old stalwart Thomasville. Not much of a scent to it when you first pick it up. I keep forgetting to smell them first. This is starting to color up. They start out really green. They get this nice egg shape, and then they start to yellow, and eventually they'll turn orange if you're lucky enough to have them stay on a tree and have a warm winter. You can see the inside compared to the I-Ching lemon. It's kind of orange, starting to turn orange. So we've got the one seed in there. These are normally pretty juicy. Let's taste it. Now this has more of like a lemon, maybe in a stretch, maybe a lime kind of taste to it. No off flavors at all. Good. It's just a good overall hearty citrus. If you're maybe in zone 8A, very sheltered, 7B maybe, you can get away with this. But this is an easy one to grow. Doesn't take a lot of time to get it fruiting from seed. Here's my Mandarin. Has a nice kind of scent to the rind. Let's kind of cut it open. This one's got the most orange pulp or flesh out of all of these. This is the Yuzu-ange. Right here is the, oh, I got it backwards. This is the Yuzu-ange. It's close. This is the Sudachi. And here's the Mandarin. Easily the fruit with the most sweet to it. It's got a really tender pulp, and does have a lot of seeds too, as you can see. But and normally just an easy peel. You can, if you look right here, you can see how it's just kind of like it'll separate from the flesh so easy. And it's got just a great, you can just squeeze the rind of this, and it smells so good. Okay, anyway, second to the last here is the Changsha times citrumelo. Still quite green at this point. I'll leave some on to see how long they'll stay on and how orange they'll get. Let's cut it open. Oh, scent test. Mild, I guess mild Mandarin scent to it, I guess. Oh, it's so juicy. Look at that. See the juice coming out? It is just running down the edge here. You want something juicy, maybe this is what you get. I mean, you'll want to get. I gotta cut into it more. You know what I forgot? Is to get this, my Clementine times Clementine. I think we've looked at that before. Alright. Inside, hard to tell maybe on the camera, but this actually has some green. Let's compare it. See. It's more green than yellow. It's more green than yellow. This is the orange, yuzvange color. So you can see these are this flesh right now is more orange. I mean green. Probably meaning that it's quite a bit away from being ripe or being having any sweet to it. Let's try it anyway. Okay. It's not super offending, the flavor, because I've bit into it quite a few times. It's not bad. You know, this interesting enough, of all the fruit out here that we've looked at, this one actually tastes more like a lime. And it's not so much the color of the fruit that's kind of swaying me, it's the flavor. It does kind of look like a lime a little bit, but when I was biting into this, I wasn't thinking lime. I was thinking, get ready for some twang, some trifoliate twang from the citrange. But no, it's not bad. Maybe a potential for lime, key lime, citrumelo times Changsha pseudo lime pie. Not bad. It's not bad. There's a lot of seeds too, which hybriders like, because, you know, hey, plant them all, see what you get. So yeah, promising. Now this has got to be at least hardy to zone 8A. So maybe better. I haven't paid a lot of attention to this fruit before, so maybe I'll kind of make more notes about it. So, citrumelo times Changsha, not bad, pretty good. A lot of juice, lime-like flavor. Actually, even more lime-like than the Thomasville. And when you look at these, Thomasville started to turn orange. This one has got more green. Now, you got to remember that this is picked in December. Who knows what it's going to taste like in January, if you make it that far. Maybe if you have it like super sheltered, cover it, let it ripen into spring. I don't know, maybe it's going to be even more tasty. So let's keep these seeds together with the correct fruit so I don't mix them up. Last one, which I saved because I know it's probably gonna gum up my knife. This is the Precocious trifoliate, fuzzy trifoliate kind of scent to it. Some people like it, some people kind of makes them gag just even smelling that. Some people like stacking a bunch of these in putting a bunch of these in like a little bowl and let the perfume or the scent of these kind of fill the room. I'm not too fond of the scent of these. They don't bother me, but I wouldn't use them as like for scent purposes. It almost feels like oh man, look at this. 2-inch slit has released a lot of that scent. Okay, so that is pretty strong. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm used to this scent, but it's pretty strong. Let's get it open. Not a lot of juice, but what you get is a boatload of seeds. I mean, it's like, is it even more is it even possible to put even more seeds in this? I mean, it's like a pocket of seeds. So I am gonna dare to taste this. Let's try it. It's kind of green. It looks like the citrumelo times Changsha almost. But also this is what the Clementine times Changsha, Clementine times trifoliate times Clementine looks like around beginning of November. It's quite orange on the outside and then green on the inside, which I liked a lot. So let's try this. Now I'm gonna get a little more. Give it a fair chance. If you're careful enough not to get the resin to get it all stuck on your lips, it's not horrible. It's not bad. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not great. Hey, if you're in zone 7, 6B, or wherever you can grow this, hey, it just depends on how desperate you are for something that's sort of citrus. Maybe this will work for you. If not, just use it as a dwarf kind of rootstock. I do taste a little bit of the resin kind of settling on my tongue and lips. So pretty much that's the tour of the fruit we've got today. I wanted to show you some of the reference books, magazines that have helped me a whole lot when I started into getting into hardy citrus. Some of these books really inspired me to try to collect a lot of hardy citrus, and one in particular, or maybe two in particular, made me it gave me a challenge to try to collect every single one of the hardy citrus varieties that are mentioned in those books. So let's get all this out of the way. So this book right here, Citrus for the Gulf Coast by Stuart Nagel. One of the pioneers, along with, well, he's one of the pioneers, but Dr. and John Brown out in Texas, he did a lot of hybridizing, and had a lot of cool fruits, citrus fruits too. So this one, I'm not sure if you can even find this anymore. Goes over a lot of cool cold hardy citrus, some mainstream citrus. It goes over trifoliate, and then some of the hybrids. He's got these little sketches. This right here is talking about bloom sweet grapefruit and Republic of Texas. I used to have that Republic of Texas orange. That was a pretty hardy orange that would survive out here for a while. And all kinds of satsumas. Even goes into talking about Changsha. The Pongkan, Pongkoa mandarins. And some of the cats, and then even lemon quat. Okay, look here, OP Nagami. OP Nagami is the tree that I'm so happy to kind of finally get back in my collection. I thought it was totally gone for a while. Namaiwa. This is also one of my favorites too. It's a I think it's also called 10-degree kumquat. I used to have a pretty large one. Got wiped out one year. It was grafted really low. It was grafted probably about 4 inches up, but I had that tree up to about 6 feet. Kumquats are pretty slow growing and bushy, but so at that size it was pretty impressive, and I was pretty happy to have it. I loved the fruit. I'd like to get one of those again. I think there might be a specimen still left somewhere in Georgia. I may have to make a trip out there. So there's mention of marumi. So there's this book. If you are quite into hardy citrus, this is one of the ones that I'd recommend to look at. I'm dropping my camera. The ultimate one that really got me going for a while is the Hardy Citrus for the Southeast book by Tom McClendon. I was lucky to meet him one time at one of the expos. Had a nice quick chat with him. But this one I really like looking at and going through all the different types of citrus, like, and a lot of these were challenging to me to try to get, like Side Temple edible, Sanford. There's a bunch of these cool ones that I was always trying to get. Tai Tri is even mentioned in here. There's Tai Tri. We've got Dragon Lime, which is out in the back. Morton, which I've grown. Troyer and Carrizo. Terrible tasting. Same with Benton and Rusk. Did not like any of those. Kind of let those go away. Nippon, I've grown Nippon. I do have US 119. That's pretty good. Sinton citrange quat. That was cool. It had such a nice bright orange flavor. I mean, rind, but it got wiped out. I did have Taiwanica before. That did not taste any good. Got rid of that, or that died out. Didn't graft it back. So all kinds of cool stuff. He even talks about the yuzvange, what we just had, and Clemuse 3.3, Clemuse 2-2. 2-2 is way better than 3-3. 3-3 looks great. Looks like a tangerine. Looks like it would be tasty. It's just not good. So this is a good book. If you can hunt this down, find one. If you're into hardy citrus, good one. Surprisingly, California Rare Fruit Growers has some of the issues. This is November, December 2009. Talks about Yuzu, Sudachi, and Kabasu, which that's pretty interesting. I used to be a member of the Southeastern Palms group back in the day. Southeastern Palms. This is it's normally a booklet, but this is just a copy of one of the booklets. And this talks, I mean, every now and then people who are challenging and trying to grow hardy citrus talk about it here. And then this one mentions New Clem, which I love a whole lot. I used to have a big one out back. Tasty fruit, which I'm trying to get back going again. I've got one back again. Here again, we're talking about Dragon Lime. This is the Changsha times citrumelo. And also we have, this is from February 1992. This is a good issue also. Talks about hardy citrus of Texas. And where we've got some mention of Dr. Swingle in here, talking about the Morton citrange, some of this citrumelo hybrids. Even right here talks about Dimicilli, which I have a specimen in the back. We're talking about Thai Tri right here. A Sanford. What else? So, Sai Temple edible. I think I had somewhere, or have one still. Sansit Chang. So, surprisingly, in the California Rare Fruit Growers, which normally talks about tropical fruits and stuff like that, this issue, volume 24, number 1, has some good information about hardy citrus. This, I think I lost my original copy, but this is a backup copy I've had. This is my from February 2003 Fruit Gardener California Rare Fruit Growers booklet. It's talking about yuzu, cold hardy citrus in Oregon. We've got, again, April 1992, hardy citrus, quest continues. So this is a article about Dr. John Brown. He talks about all kinds of different citrus here, like the Namaiwa. Talks about Citradia, Changsha hybrids. A lot of good information here. So Changsha times Yuzu. Sansit Bloom Sweet. Back in the day, it was cool. Everybody was trying to get the just the perfect hybrid of fruit, of hardy and sweet. So one more. This is the December 1993, volume 25, number 6. It has new and noteworthy citrus from Texas by Stuart Nagel. So some of these books here, it talks about sunquat and stuff, I think, right here. Some of these books, this is a lot of the ones that have got me started and helped me out learning a whole lot about these fruits, and just kept me going, kept me trying to get more and more in my collection and just test what worked out here. So we're gonna wrap it up, and we'll just take one last look at everybody here, and next time maybe I'll get a tropical fruit video out, but here we are, guys, and we'll sign off for now. Thanks for joining me.